Welcome back, dear Pot Coven. Today we have a very special episode hosted by our lovely Jasmine. She is taking us to the cosmos and beyond in our elemental magic block. And I'm super excited to see what the fuck this entails because my mind has been wandering since we started talking about doing this episode, in all honesty. But before we start, Jasmine, could you please tell us all where we can find you and how we can work with you and all that good stuff?
Yes, of course. If you aren't already aware, you can follow me at satin.saturn on Instagram and on TikTok. I'm on Twitter too, but it's Satin_Saturn. And honestly, TikTok's a weird place. Follow me there or don't, you know? I don't stay on brand on Twitter. I just scream into the void. Anyway, we're recording this a little early. I probably still have the cart open for Basic Witch, I would assume. But, I'm also probably starting to think about, what am I going to do next? And I know that's probably going to be astrology or numerology themed. I've been really wanting to teach you guys how to do personal and global predictive numerology, which is like such a mouthful, I know. But if you follow me, I post the vibes of the week, like the daily numerology updates. Those are global day numbers. And then we each have personal day numbers, and that goes for months and years. Like, for instance, we're in a global 5-year, and May is a global 10-year. Anyway, so I love that stuff. It's probably my favorite. No, it absolutely is my favorite part of numerology, working with the global and the personal ones. So might be doing that next. Hit me up. Let me know on Instagram if that sounds fun to you. Otherwise, if you're like, no, please do something astrology related, especially because that's what we're going to be talking about today, then hit me up on Instagram. As I said last week, I'm not great at responding to my DMs in a timely manner, but I will respond, and I will appreciate your feedback. So let me know what you want to see next. But if you're into Basic Witch, if you want to learn how to have an ethical, aligned, intuitive, intelligent witchcraft practice that, is a seamless part of your life. Basically, if you want to be a badass witch like the three of us on here, then you should absolutely sign up for Basic Witch. All the info is on my Instagram. That's the best place to get hooked up with all the info there and to sign up. Yeah, that's me. Ella, what are you up to?
Well, what am I up to? I am making things, coming out with some new stuff, finally listing things that I've been kind of prepping. I've been doing a lot of curating, shall I say, which is code for shopping. I've been doing a lot of curating, trying to put together some cute sets for just more of that like mundane magical support, things you can use in your daily life that just make it that much witchier and that much cooler, and have all your friends go, oh my god, where did you get that cute basket? Or, oh my god, these bells are so cute. Like, yes, all the cute things. I know I always tell people you don't have to go out and buy everything all at once, and I still stand by that, but I'm also a witch who loves beautiful, shiny shit, and you're going to see a bunch of it coming up this whole summer. So find me on Instagram at the.celestial.rose. Turn on notifications. I'm going to be doing lots of fun shit this summer. So, yeah, that's what I'm up to. How about you, Jess?
Hell yeah. All right. So you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, probably YouTube at this point. Loving_incantations. I might be changing my name here shortly, actually. So we'll see. We'll let you know. So I am currently opening the doors for enrollment into my new course, Chakrology, and this is this is a class. This is a course to help you heal and align your energetic and emotional body, and we're going to be diving into the chakra system, how you can work with that to heal and align. And we're also going to be incorporating some reflexology, some Reiki work, two-person touch. I'll get into that in the course, but if you're curious,
I implore
Yes.
you to, yes. So I implore you to check me out, Instagram, reach out to me. I will at least respond to you within 6 hours, somewhere around there. I'm awfully bad at private messages, but there we go. If you're a business owner feeling stuck, stagnated, or just need a little inspiration to get you moving forward, I am offering my business readings currently. So find me. Let's work together.
Honestly, it takes me like 24 hours at least to respond to DMs, so 6 is good. 6 is good. It just depends, you know. It just depends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm
Yeah.
sometimes I'm right on it. It just depends. Anyway,
Yeah. What day of the month is it?
right. What other stuff is going on? Like
What's
if I
happening
have
with
like
the
a lot of
moon? Like, yeah.
if I have a lot of stuff going on that day, I'm probably not going to respond to most of the messages I get because I'm tired.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Personal space.
It takes energy, you know.
Yep.
Anywho, so yeah, we are going to be talking about the elements today, of course, because that's what we've been talking about.
Yeah.
Um, and the most common way that I work with the elements at this point in my life is through astrology. So, shocker. Of course, working with astrology, we talk about the elements a lot because we work with the four elements. There are 3 fire signs, 3 earth signs, 3 air signs, 3 water signs, and we use that to understand the archetypes of those signs. But we can also turn it around and use those signs where they're showing up in our charts to understand how that energy is showing up in our lives and how we can embody it more. So, for this episode, you're going to want to get out your astrology chart. So, whether you're a beginner, a novice, intermediate, advanced, it doesn't really matter. I can see Ella's getting hers out.
I am. You said, so I'm doing it.
Yeah, we'll have some more beginner. I'll talk about some more entry level stuff and then maybe a little bit more intermediate stuff, but there's going to be something for everyone to work with here as far as embodying the elements in your chart. But yeah, I'll go over just a little bit. The fire element, that's Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. This is, where in our lives we have passion, drive, creativity. Earth signs are Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. This is where we ground and where we grow. This is like, what are the words I'm looking for? It's patience. It's patience to let things grow as well, you know. Air
Hmm.
signs are Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. This is where we have logic. This is where we also have ideas. Water signs are Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. This is where we have depth, sensitivity, and psychic abilities. So yeah, we have all 12 of those signs in our charts. Now, some of you guys might be thinking, no, I don't. Trust me, you do. It's okay if you don't know how to find that out, but you do. You have all 12 signs in your chart, so you do have a balance of that energy of each of the 4 energies. However, you have placements in these different, um, you know, in these different elements. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take note of how many placements you have in each element. So we're talking about your sun sign, your moon sign, rising, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. We'll count those ones too, even though Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto are outer planets, and so they're generational. They have a little bit less to do with us on a personal level, but let's add them in. Why not? I mean, if you don't want to add them in, you don't have to. But I will. So if you want to pause and take note of that, go ahead. I have 2 fire, 2 air, 2 water, and 5 earth.
Oh.
So the next questions to ask yourself are, which element do you feel most comfortable with, and which element do you feel least comfortable with? As far as the energy of each of the elements, right? So we've been building upon our information about the elements in each of these episodes. So I'm not going to talk too in depth about what each of them represent, right? I don't need to go over things that we've talked about too much, but you know, I do feel really comfortable with earth energy, and it's right there in my chart, right? I do have a lot of patience. I do tend to be pretty grounded, and in my body, I do tend to live very much in the tangible world. What's interesting is I tend to feel least comfortable with fire. However, fire, air, and water all hold only 2 spots in my chart. So that's something to reflect upon, to look at in your chart and see, you know, where the different levels are. Do you guys know yours? Do you care to share?
Yeah, I've got mine ready to go. I was just waiting for an in. Okay, I have 4 fire, all in the same sign. I have 3 air, 3 earth, and 1 water. And I would definitely say that reflects my comfortability with them. Maybe air a little more strongly than fire, just because like my sun and rising are air. So it does come pretty naturally, but the fire is strong. Like it's strong for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know. I always use heat for healing. You know, I like the fire herbs. You know, when I love an herb and I go look it up, and I'm always like, oh, of course it's fire ruled. You know, like shit like that. So Yep, yeah, I feel it. That's cool.
Yeah. I find that I work with fire magic the most, and I'm like, that's funny, because I mean, I feel least comfortable with fire on like and that's really just boiled down to like aggression. I really don't like aggression in people, in humans. Anyone that like comes on just like too strong, you know, or anyone that's like too loud is like too much for me. But I think I'm drawn to fire magic because that is an element that I need to build up more in my life and have that stronger connection with. So that's something else you guys can do too when looking at this in your chart is, you know, asking yourself which element you feel least comfortable with. If it is one that you have less in your chart, you know, go back, listen to the episodes that we've previously done, and, you know, make some tea with some of those herbs that Ella shared of that element, you know, practice some of those mudras that Jess shared from that element, you know, figure out how to embody that element more, you know, utilizing your chart to help you understand which elements to embody more, to work with more. Jess, do you know yours now?
Yes, so I have 3 fires, and that's my sun, moon, and Venus. I have 3 airs, Mars, Jupiter, and Lilith. 4 earths, Mercury, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune, and then 2 waters, which is just Pluto and my north node. So I guess looking like back on my upbringing and whatnot, I was the most disconnected from water. My emotions just kind of like ruled me, and I didn't bathe a lot.
Yeah.
And that like depression was like super prevalent in my childhood and my formative years. So I don't know. I feel like that plays a big part there.
Right. Yeah.
I think that I work with fire the most, and maybe that's because it like rules my ego and my emotional continuity. But I have also been told that I am a very earthy fire sign.
You are.
So.
Yeah.
And that is a lot to do with my communication in Mercury, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
I've actually met a few Arieses recently who were just so, like very intense. And I always think of you, how like mellow you are. I'm just like, man, Jess is like a really like chill Aries.
Like not really an Aries, but I'm like so an Aries. I was born right in the middle.
Yeah.
I feel like they're either on 100 or they're on like 10. There's no in between.
Yeah. It's either like a creeping pace or a no pace.
Yeah, they're
or
the
a
chillest Aries, or
lightning.
just like rah.
Yeah.
So I wanted to know, like, Jasmine had said that fire, you have a hard time with like really abrupt and like angry people, I guess is kind of what she said. That's exactly what I grew up in. My whole family is just like really loud, very opinionated, super quick to frustration and yelling and anger and whatnot. And so maybe I was able to like observe that on the outside of myself, that I like was able to work through a lot of it on the inside of myself because I didn't want that to be what was coming out.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Get that reflection. Learn from other people for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like step one, working with the elements in your chart, seeing, how your placements fall elementally. But then we're going to take it a little step further. So for this one, you do have to know which houses in your chart are ruled by which signs. So I know that's not available for everyone. However, if you use astro-charts.com and scroll to the bottom of their free profile that they give you, it's very easy. They'll tell you which sign rules each house. If you have intercepted houses, then not every sign will be there because they'll be hidden, but they're still in your chart. They just hide. So then what you're going to want to do is basically the same thing, but you want to find out where, which houses are ruled by fire signs, which houses are ruled by earth signs, which houses are ruled by air signs, which houses are ruled by water signs. So let's see. Okay. What did I do here? Yeah, no, okay. Sorry. Because I have intercepted houses and I wrote them down, but I don't think they should count because they're hidden. So I actually have 4 houses ruled by fire signs. So it's my 2nd, my 7th, my 10th, and my 11th. I will go over, so make sure you also have your grimoire out, your pen and your paper. I'll go over and I'll give just a keyword for each of the 12 houses. Why don't I do that first? I'll do that right now. Or, you guys can pause it if you want to go make sure you have your houses and you know which signs rule which house. Go ahead, pause it now, and then come back so you can write down the keywords. I'm going to start now. First house is the self. Second house is worth. Third house is mind. Fourth house is home. Fifth house, pleasure. Sixth house, habits. Seventh house, partnership. Eighth house, power. Ninth house, beliefs. 10th house, public appearance. 11th house, community. 12th house, spirituality. So when I look through and I say, okay, fire rules my 2nd, my 7th, my 10th, and my 11th. This is where I embody passion, drive, and creativity. So my house of self-worth, my house of money, my house of partnership, my house of career and public appearance, my house of community. So really, wow, we haven't tooted our own horns in a while, but this is a good one for us because it really is about collaboration in career. That's where I have like the most passion and drive and creativity with those houses. But for me, Earth only rules 2 houses because Virgo hides in my 7th. So that's, where I have grounding and growth and patience is in my 3rd and my 12th. So that's the house of the mind and the house of spirituality. So yeah, you can go through, look at where you have the different elements in your chart and see where you can. So this is the thing about astrology. It's about looking where these things, where the energy is naturally flowing. It might be hard for me to put a lot of passion towards, my first house, because that's where air is. And that's more where I'm in a place of logic and ideas. And, I'm not able to put a lot of drive there I want to be more up there in the air, because that's my air ruled house, and so it's about learning to lean into those energies. So it's astrology, it's me also, so it's a little bit more complicated, I know, but this is how I predominantly work with the elements. So did you guys learn anything new about yourselves, taking notes on your houses?
Yeah. I like that. I mean, the signs that rule them, you know what I mean? Like, you always go in it at that angle, but then to kind of like flip it and even just simplify it even more than that and just be like, look at the elements. It's like, oh, yeah, okay, cool.
I feel like this is a way more tangible way for like a lot of people to work with astrology, because it is such a dense topic.
Yeah, breaking it down into the elements.
Yeah, this really puts it into perspective in a way that you can just like wrap your head around.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, isn't that fun?
Mm-hmm. I feel like you're setting a precedence right now.
For what?
for how people will henceforth break down astrology and think about it in more elemental terms now. You know what I mean?
Nice. Cool. Yeah. Well, that's it's always good. Here, let me just give an example. Before I was a spiritual bitch, my career, my passion, my hobby was dance. I was a dancer for my whole life. Studied it in college, did it professionally for a little bit after college. I still had a day job, but I was a professional dancer. And throughout that whole time, it's not only common, but it's imperative to continuously go back and take, ballet 101, jazz 1, modern 1, because it's so important to remind yourself, not to just throw yourself around and do all the crazy stuff, but to say, okay, what are the basics? What are the bare bones of what we're doing here? And so, yeah, I think looking at astrology through the lens of like, okay, what are the bare bones here, which is elements. Like, I think that's the most bare you can get with astrology. Definitely very helpful.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it.
Yeah. Well, that's
cool.
What I got.
Hell yeah. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. That was great. Jess and I are forever changed. I bet lots of our listeners are too. You can find
the houses. That's like,
dude, I know.
Each one has 3 for mine. And then the 3 that are in each one, like, it blows my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a whole new like perspective of your chart.
Yeah. Lots to think about, lots of new ways to embody the elements. Yay.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you want more in-depth stuff about astrology, you know where to find Jasmine. She's at satin.saturn on Instagram. And you can also reach out to us at Power of 3 Podcast on Instagram. We love hearing from you. We love it when you tag us in your stories. It literally we get so excited. We jump up and down. We text each other. We're like, oh my God, did you see that someone posted us? And we're like, yes, oh my God. So do it, please. We love you. Comment, subscribe, rate, review, tell your friends, tell your grandma. I don't know, maybe don't tell your grandma. Unless she's cool, and then you tell your grandma. Yeah, we love your grandma. She's the shit. So we love y'all, and we will catch you on our next episode. It's gonna be really, really cool. Very excited. Peace out. See you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.